Hey everyone, we're back with some more draft action. I feel like I kind of got carried away running through all the exciting OP events. And I kind of forgot draft's a bit of a shorter format than CC.
Yes, draft's only 30 minutes.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got Nic Anderson playing Briar today versus Tak Mung or Mark Tung? Mark Tung. Sorry, his name's a little bit mixed up on the thing. And on the Briar. So I'm really excited to see Lexi because we were talking, I was talking with Kale and I was talking with Matt earlier, and they were saying to me that they actually consider Lexi to be extremely powerful, like a really, really high ceiling if you're sort of one or two Lexi players to play. So we'll have to see, we'll have to see what they've got drawn up here.
Or as we can see from Mark's hand, that sigil of suffering.
Sigil of suffering, that's very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, that card can just steal your games in the late game. You get your opponent down to one. You wait till you redraw it from your pitch stacking, and then it's just game unpreventable.
Yeah, I'm just double checking that we've got the play names on the correct side here because I think it's kind of on the opposite on our screen. So we'll just check that out, but we'll get the action started. Okay, and just a quick reminder to Twitch chat. I feel we've kept everything pretty friendly and fun so far, and just a reminder to keep it that way. We don't want any toxic chat going on, so just tune in, enjoy the games. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so Ethan started off with pitching a Sigil of Suffering and a Singeing Steelblade for the rights for replenishment, and I think we're just sort of seeing a little bit of an early pitch stacking, aren't we? That's kind of 2 arcane damage put down to the bottom.
Yes. And seeing up an Arsenal.
Now, one thing that's interesting here is for Lexi, of course, we sometimes see Lexi play sort of more than 30 card decks because obviously fatigue is a bit of a risk when you can't attack with your weapon.
But now, the weapon Shiver, being able to give you powered up arrows dominate is very crucial, especially when they're fused.
That's true. So we see an early Code of Frost here.
Oh, it's quite an early turn.
But I suppose with Lexi sometimes, if you're able to sort of grab tempo and keep it going very early.
Oh, here we go. One of my favorite ice cards, Icy Encounter.
Okay, so Icy Encounter, that's coming down. So on hit, it creates another Frostbite. Okay, yeah. So we're just clarifying, yes, we do have Mark on the Lexi deck, and we've got Nic Anderson at the top on the Briar deck.
All right. So Nic blocking with 2 cards.
So we're definitely seeing these Briar players already, sort of heavily prioritizing these arcane damage ping cards. So we saw a Sigil of Suffering and Singeing Steelblade pitched earlier, and we've seen another Singeing Steelblade used to defend here. Okay, so we're seeing a fused, I believe that
Stir of the Wildwood.
Yeah, so we can't quite see that color, but it's coming for somewhere between 6 to 8 damage. Pretty efficient use of resources here.
Yeah, because of pitching, fusing, it will get the +2 from its ability.
And I believe that's a burgeoning that may go into the arsenal.
It's a break ground.
A break ground, okay. And okay, so just choosing to defend with the Winter's Grasp here. And that's one embodiment of Earth.
5. All right.
So unfortunately for Mark there, I feel the Code of Frost didn't achieve all that much in the end. But sometimes you just have to go for it. So here we see the Lexi hero ability sort of come out. So another Icy Encounter and Arsenal, making a Frostbite right away. Although one thing here is, when you do play it like that, it means you aren't able to play that arrow because, we're not seeing a Voltaire here, of course.
Oh, yeah, or New Horizon.
Mm-hmm. Or New Horizon, should I say?
But still, an Icy Encounter is still very threatening. Because
it's just irritating to deal with, isn't it? Like the Frostbites. I've already got one Frostbite, I don't want to deal with the second one. And it really hits that nice break point, depending on what's in hand, because I believe there's not a whole lot of non-attack actions that defend for 3 in this format, outside of things like Force of Nature, of course. Yes, we're seeing Nic really sort of Instead of what to defend with here. I feel it becomes a lot of math in some of these things, right? Because you figure out what do I defend with, how many frostbites am I going to have, how many resources do I have available next turn, all that sort of fun stuff. And as we saw last game, every life point matters.
Yeah, sure does.
So I can totally understand the players taking a little bit of time to figure out, how am I going to defend this? And yeah, as we see, the Twitch is appreciating. These are some very cool playmats we've had here from Sushi Night. I'd say a particular favorite of mine is the one in Tadeo Maldi down the bottom there with the zones in Tadeo.
Yeah, it's very cool and unique. Just to Sushi Nights.
Yeah, big shout out to Sushi Night, an amazing local game store down here in Wellington, who is hosting the national championship today. Okay, and we see a bit of a pump fake, will they defend with this? Or let's see.
Yeah, Nick must be really thinking about his turn next turn.
I think we see the power of the frostbites here as well. With things like Bramble Spark become a little bit less efficient, don't they?
So yeah, defending for 6.
Okay, so he's happy just to defend it there and wait a little bit. So I think we can see that might be potentially an amulet in hand.
Also an amulet of earth and another stir of the wild.
So we'll see what he does here. The amulet can be quite a good setup card.
Doing the same play as last time?
Oh yeah, no, same play as last time,
But it's not fused this time, so we'll not be getting an additional attack.
Now I feel Mark could be a little bit frustrated here that he's got both these frostbites down, but they're not doing that much just yet. But it may not look like it's too much on paper, but it is kind of disrupting these turns and play patterns.
I feel like Mark's having a big turn this turn.
Okay.
Electing to take all the damage.
I wonder if we might see a lightning card flipped up here in Arsenal. Oh no, the Winter's Bite.
No, Frostbite. Good thing about Winter's Bite, you can easily get rid of it from your arsenal and then load up an arrow with sugar.
Definitely. So this is going to strip out a card from hand. Like I say, one thing to keep an eye on is, this game looks like it's being pretty fast-paced, but if it does go very late, things like Winter's Bite, of course, because the other player, if they usually pitch to get across it, it's kind of a 1-for-0 in deck in a way.
Yeah, I think Winter's Bite is one of the most annoying cards in Limited.
Oh yeah, it's super frustrating to deal with.
Here we go. Oh,
Overflex. That looks like a red one to me as well. And that's was the Bolt fused. And I imagine that might have Dominate coming in for 8, I believe.
Yeah, I've coming in for 8. No, I think I'll be coming in for. I think is that a red possible?
Oh, maybe. Sorry, it is. It's a little difficult for us to see.
Yeah, I think it's coming in for. I think it should be coming for 9.
Okay. Wow.
And it's.
Okay, so we'll just see how Nick wants to approach this. Anyway, so yeah, our eyes are kind of glued to the action here because I feel these games, they can sort of start, sometimes they can start quick, kind of start to get into a grind out, and then just all the action comes out at once. Okay,
so
so
here we go, that's 6 damage.
6 damage, so we can kind of see why he chose to defend with just that one card last turn.
And Nick has double 2 frostbites.
2 frostbites, so...
We thought 1 was bad.
Yeah. This is quite good because it means you can't just simply pitch a blue card to play something like, a 2 cost.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's a break ground. It looks like it's maybe a blue or yellow break ground. But having to pitch 2 cards, so no access to Arsenal next turn.
Yeah, it's pretty troublesome, to be honest.
Okay, so now we see Mark. I feel like he's in a good spot here because he's evened up life totals. He's able to defend with 2 cards, and I feel like Lexi's one of those heroes that can have very, very good turns with just sort of, say 2 cards in hand plus an arsenal.
Oh, another frostbite.
Okay, so we're starting to see his game plan here, really going for those frost cards in arsenal and playing out the attacks. And I really like this. It looks like a red Winter's Grass to me. That's coming in for 6. And again, it's just chipping away, chipping away. And you do need to be very careful because, as you pointed out, the ability for Shiver to give an arrow dominate can end games very quickly, particularly in conjunction with sort of these pump cards such as Overflex.
I feel like this game's battle of Frostbite's first battle of Stir of the Wildwood.
We see yet another
This
Stir
is
of
the
Wildwood.
third one.
So we're almost seeing more. I don't think I've seen a single lightning card yet from Nic.
Yeah.
So he seems to be very leaning into
Mark.
that Earthbriar. Oh, sorry, from Mark.
Yeah,
My apologies.
Ooh, choose defending with one card.
Okay, we're going to see another Frost card, the usual play pattern here.
Let's see.
Oh, and there's
another
our
Winter's-
favourite.
Another Winter's Bite.
And I feel this can be, like you said, this can be incredibly frustrating for a player to deal with because every single turn, it's like, okay, I'm going to make a Frostbite, make you pitch to get rid of a card, and then I'm going to come in with an attack.
Another icing counter.
So interestingly enough, we've seen very few lightning cards between both these players here, so it's really kind of a battle of Earth versus Ice at the moment, which I'm quite enjoying.
I think that's, yeah, I believe that's a yellow icing counter, so we'll be coming in for 5. And Nick's stuck with a Summerwood Shelter in his hand, which he...
That could be used to get rid of the Frostbite potentially here.
Yeah, but he would have to pitch a card. And
Yeah.
So he'd have to commit his whole hand if he wanted to do that play.
That's a good point. So it's not really saving you that much, is it?
So he's electing to take the damage, going to 6.
Okay, so 2 Frostbites down to 6.
It's-
It's starting to get a little bit dicey, I feel. Okay, but so that is going to allow him to get that Sunwood Shelter down at Arsenal, which I feel is very good. Although in saying that, it does, as you pointed out, becomes a lot worse when you have those Frostbites in play. It's not really a good, efficient way to get it out there as well, I feel, in this deck.
And I think that's another blue break ground, Karen. So it's only coming in for 5.
It's just not that threatening here, is it?
No, like Mark could easily take it, play with his 5-card hand.
If he's got a great hand, and the thing is, we've really seen this play pattern from Mark here, is he can either choose to take it or, do that. Defend with 1 card, flip up my Arsenal,
Give you a Frostbite.
give you a Frostbite, play my Arsenal card, pitch, play something out, and then Arsenal the card again. So he's, I think he's got a game plan, he's sticking to it, and it's doing quite well at the moment.
Choosing to defend with Entwine of Ice, taking 3. Alright, see.
Okay,
That's another ice card.
Give me another Winter's Bite. It is!
That's 3 in a row.
Oh man, I wonder if Nick's going to start feeling a bit of deja vu here.
And Nick has a sigil of...
Sigil of Suffering.
Suffering.
Okay, so that does kind of open up that play of the Sunwood Shelter and Sigil. But I mean, depending on what attack comes out here.
Yeah, but it's never great to
Yeah,
pitch to use them, right?
yeah, I'm just thinking if you pitch here, you can use both the Sunwood Shelter and the Sigil to be a bit more efficient.
Oh, so he pitched what? Pitched a yellow, so
That's, I suppose, for
he's
the...
one floating for the Frostbite to use his Sigil or Summerwood.
Okay, so he will be pretty happy with that, I think. Because we can't quite see the colour, but a red Sigil of Singeing, for example, could, very quickly flip the game back in his favour.
Oh, is it fused? It sure is.
Okay, so this is coming in, I imagine, with Dominate?
Yes, I imagine will dominate. Coming in for 5 dominate.
Yeah, so Chilling Ice Vein, now that it's used, on hit discard a card, I believe, unless you
Pay a certain.
pay a resource.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chilling Ice Vein was coming in for 6.
That's a good point too, because sometimes you, like we said, we've been focusing very much on that Dominate ability, but I feel... Okay, so he's using the Sunwood Shelter here to defend that out.
It's a red one.
Yeah, so we have talked a lot about the dominate ability on the Shiver, but often the +1 can be the correct play, can't it? Because
yes.
you're kind of like, I don't really care about the dominate, I just want to strip cards to keep sitting up, sitting up, sitting up.
Yep, so Nick's able to fully defend the Chilling Ice Vein. And this time we know what's in Mark's arsenal. It's a Icy Encounter.
Okay, so yep, that's another card to flip up. See, one thing is here, I feel Nick's probably going to be looking at, I couldn't quite spot what's in there, but I did see the Sigil of Suffering in there. I wonder if he's going to look at just pitching that other card to come with the Rosetta Thorn, or potentially even just setting the Sigil and passing. Okay, now he's coming down with the Rites for Replenishment. So that we just see a snap block from Mark there. I feel this is great. I feel it's really showcasing Lexi's flexibility here, right? Because now you're able to defend out that attack, you flip up the Icing Encounter, pitch one card.
Frostbite.
Here's your Frostbite. I'm going to pitch a card, play it, another card in Arsenal, rinse and repeat over and over again. You know,
Well, seems like Nick drew another Sigil of Suffering.
I have to say, to me, this has been quite an interesting game. The back and forth, like very much tempo-based in a way, hasn't it? With the, the frostbites, with the impact on like defense reactions, and then just sort of these mid-rangey attacks coming down from the Briar player.
Mark clearly has a plan and definitely knows how to play the Lexi deck, Ice Lexi deck. I believe he is playing the Ice Lexi deck in Classic Constructed as well.
Okay, so he's got a bit of practice with it. Okay, so...
Oh, chooses to take the whole Ice Encounter, two Frostbites.
Now this might be the fireworks coming out. Or, no, it's not. Well, the Autumn's Touch, it's not bad. That looks like a yellow to me, so it's coming down for 6. But one thing I wonder if he might be trying to bait him into here, because he does have that Sigil of Suffering. Maybe he's hoping to get Mark to take a lot of damage here and close out the game with a Dominated Arrow, and then dropping Sigil of Suffering to sort of bring him back into it.
That would be heartbreaking for Mark.
Yeah, it would be. So we'll see if he's disciplined and sticks to his game plan, or if he, is wanting to try, see if he can close it out here. Because that's the thing, you could quickly find yourself in a lot of trouble if you drop down to, say, like 3 life here with a single block, or maybe 3 or 4 life. Because then with the Sigil of Suffering plus a few more ping cards, the game can just be over very quickly, can't it? So I feel this is a I feel these next couple of turns are absolutely critical. And I feel like Mark's pretty much done everything right so far, so we'll see how he approaches this turn.
Looks like he's going to defend with 2 cards. There we go, 1.
Okay, so that was a red Autumn's Touch. So I feel like that's kind of what Nick wanted to happen here.
I think Nick wanted... Oh, it was 7, right? So, yeah. Here we go, holding card.
So that lets him replace his Arsenal, doesn't it? So take a card up and put 1 back down.
I bet you that's a nice card. There we go, Winter Spite.
Oh no, that's the Chill to the Bone.
Chill to the Bone.
Yep. But I feel that Sigil of Suffering could be potentially devastating here.
But Nick does have a Frostbite.
That's true. So it won't be the most efficient one.
Fuse. Is that a channel like Rigid?
I believe it is. So I think he has just decided to try push for lethal here. Probably knowledge he's like, look, if he doesn't have the defense reaction, that's pretty much game, right?
Yep.
But unfortunately for him, we are well aware of what's down there.
But still, Nick is losing 3 cards.
He is losing 3 cards, and it does sort of give Mark a bit of the momentum. Although in saying that, if you drop down to 2 life each, 2 lives are dangerous life total to be against Briar.
But Mark does have a channel like Frigid for next turn.
So we can see, I believe that's a Bramble Spark in hand. So that's sort of 1 arcane right there. The Sigil of Suffering is 2 arcane, so it's could be getting just a little bit
I think
dicey.
he's a Summer with Shelter as well, Karen, in his hand.
Okay, well, we'll see how he wants to approach this turn. Because I have a feeling he might want to use that Sigil of Suffering, but we'll see. So it
Oh,
looks like he's
he has to use the bramble since it's his only non-attack.
right. Maybe
And his Amulet of Earth.
right, just to defend it up fully. Okay, I understand that play. What? Oh, yeah. Okay,
Sigil
yeah.
Suffering.
The Sigil Suffering, of course. Life total there. Okay, well, Mark probably isn't thrilled that he didn't win the game on the spot, because who doesn't like to just win and move on to the next round? But at the same time, it's not game breaking here, right? It's not game breaking. He's still. I wonder if he's tossing up Archling the Channel Lake Frigid or not.
He elects not to.
I actually kind of understand that here, right? Because it can get stuck. I feel he really wants to be considering the ability to close out the game with a Dominated Arrow. He doesn't want to end up with one of these hands where he's got sort of multiple red cards and the Channel Lake Frigid is blocking his arsenal here. On top of that, it does defend for 3, so that is a bit of a bonus.
Nick coming in with a burgeoning.
I wonder though if the Sunwood Shelter, he might be prioritizing that here because he is on 2.
No, I think he pitched the Summerwood Shelter.
Okay, my apologies.
His hand is the other card is Amulet of Earth.
Yep, you're correct.
Or using Plume of Ergrowth, letting him put a Earth card.
Okay, so could be looking at that. I see. So looking at the red Autumn's Touch here to sort of pitch and come in with that. But I think Mark actually isn't too upset with this, and I think we're seeing why it was probably maybe a good call to hold onto that Channel Lake Frigid, so you have 2 guaranteed cards to defend for 3 here. Okay, so I think when we talk about every life mattering in Tails Draft, again, we've got a perfect illustration of it.
This is down to the wire.
Because that's the thing, if you defend this for 6 here, right, then you have to win the game next turn, in a way. Well, you don't have to, but like it becomes very, very dangerous that you die to anything. You die to a Bramble, you die to a Explosive Growth, you die to Singeing Steelblade, anything like that.
I think if Mark has noticed that Nick's deck has more than 1 Sigil Suffering. I've definitely seen 2.
Yeah, because we saw him pitch one early, didn't we? Yeah.
Maybe this is the turn cycle he draws it or not. But
yeah, but the issue is here, I suppose, as well, that it's pretty devastating. If you defend with 3 cards here, then it becomes like you could just easily be dead next. You could easily be dead next turn if you go down to 1 here and leave them with a 4 card. Sorry, if you stay on 2, leave them with a 4 card hand. It's very, very hard.
Yeah.
Now, I know this feeling, when life total is getting close and you're going through the graveyard being like, okay, what am I going to lose to? Like, what have I seen in the deck? What's in the graveyard? Okay, and we just heard news that fan favourite Kale McCreath is 5-0 and will be featuring in the next draft round. Oh, man, I'm a little bit happy I'm sitting here in the commentary booth and not having to defend this attack.
Oh, okay, goes to 1.
Goes to 1, and I understand why he did that, but it's very dangerous.
Alright, here we go, Icy Encounter.
So he's probably thinking, if I take out 2 cards here, and I just cross my fingers that he doesn't have...
No, I think Nick has...
Is that an explosive growth? But does he have enough to defend that? If that's the 3 and a 2 defense card, he can go down to 1 and get the explosive growth for lethal, so... We'll just have to see what's happening here. Okay, and I think he's just flashing it out to him. He's like, is that going to be over? Now, to my knowledge, I don't think Lexi has a way to prevent that Arcane. Sort of something like I can't think of anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the game's
and that's game. And that's game. And I really want to congratulate Nick on that heads-up Plume of Evergrowth play. Because I think that was actually...
That was the second Sigil?
He had another Sigil there as well. Okay, so we have seen Briar sort of push through with the arcane damage both times. It's been very close.
Yeah, these 2 games have been very close.
Very close. Although we did say that Oldham play in the last game. It's very easy for us to spot in the relaxed commentary booth, as opposed to like playing with your life on the line. But there was a potential for him to maybe get there with that Rodnell Buckler block. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. This one, I actually really enjoyed the play patterns from both players here. So we saw the power of just cycling through cycling through those ice cards, and also things like Winter's Bite, Chill to the Bone. Unfortunately,
I think those red autumn touches.
The red autumn touches
do too much damage.
They're coming for 7 in a format where a lot of cards defend for 2.
Yeah.
It's also very powerful, and I think he managed to just chip him down far enough. I actually think, like we described there, that turning point where Mark decided to drop for 3 to try kill him with the Dominator arrow, and honestly, I can't blame him. In that same spot, I probably just want to end the game, because the thing is, he already saw the sigil pitched earlier, and was probably thinking it's not coming back up.
Yeah.
So you can't blame him there, but I think that might have been the turning point where it allowed Nick to get Mark just down low enough that he could just defend out, pressure, arcane damage for the win.
Yep. So that concludes round 5.
Yeah, and in fact, I think we might just go on a short break here. But we do have stick around, because I have been told that next round we are going to feature, like I said, Kale McCreath on 5-0.
Looking forward to it.
Not quite sure who his opponent lined up is just yet, but I think that's going to be a great game. And, I think I might have heard he's playing a non-Briar deck. I'm not going to say any more than that, but stick around and we'll see what happens. We'll be right back.